All right, guys. Paul Singh, Market Speculator, with the trade report for Tuesday, July 24, 2018. We're doing the report about an hour after the open. I've been having some issues the last 2 days with recordings, but we're good to go now. If we look at Google here, big gap up, 4.5%, huge move for Google to 1265. So good earnings. Probably like to see volume pick up a little bit, but other than that, really strong, and it's having an impact on the market. If we look at Facebook, moving nicely before its earnings. Netflix was popping, has pulled back in since I last looked at it this morning. But if we look at SPY's up 0.81%. The Qs are up 1.2%, and IWM is only up 0.17, and it's interesting with SPY and Qs up so much. Retail today is lagging down 0.5%. And when I went through list here of a lot of stocks I watch almost all, not all, but a lot of the stocks that are red are retail stocks. Buckle, Macy's, Kohl's, which we're in right now, Urban, Shack, Lulu, Race. These are all retail stocks here. And the ones that are moving are tech, energy, oil. All of these things are moving today. It's early in the day. It's only one day, but kind of an interesting development when the market is so strong. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Focus list areas, we are looking very closely at financials. FAS is at 71.50 and has broke this range. So I might take a shot at financials today. We can put a stop up here around 75, 76. So that would be around four points. And we can use a pretty tight stop, maybe even just 1 point here, or 1.5 points. So it'd be at least 2.5 to 3 to 1. Their BRZU, which we already got out of, is back up right where we got out, and is showing strength off this pullback. I think that's a good sign. Maybe now it moves up to 30. So that's another potential play. And I am looking more towards ETFs right now just because of earnings season. India, we talked about India showing some strength after this range-bound action, finally breaking this range. And we could play this up to the top of the range around 87. So for 5 points, and we could use maybe a 2-point stop. 3 points would be better, but that wouldn't give us the 2 to 1 risk reward. TQQQ bouncing big this morning. I don't think we can enter here, but it is breaking a range right there and is an all-time highs. 2 breakouts that are actually getting interesting for shorts. CLF is very extended, up from 9 all the way to close to 1150 here. I'm going to look for a reversal candle to potentially short this thing, but it would have to be a strong signal. Like today, it would have to close under 11 for me to consider it. So we're going to watch CLF the next coming days. If no signal comes, maybe it consolidates and runs again. This is a very strong sector. We are seeing a lot of moves. AKS today, and this isn't even earnings. It's just breaking out. KALU, another one. MT, another one. So steel is very strong. Metals are very strong. I might add some of these, even though they have earnings coming up. X has earnings coming up in the next few days. Otherwise, I would take that. And then we've got some stocks that are reporting early August. So when WTW, X is reporting on early August 1st. So that gives us about a week if we wanted to play a run up on X. Win is, we took the profits here. It's consolidated since, and now it's breaking over the gap range here. So we could play maybe a 5-point move going into earnings next week. There is a time issue on these things, but WTW is the same way. It broke out over the 9. Maybe it runs to 100 before earnings. So that's something I'm thinking about. And then Restoration Hardware does not have earnings coming up. This was the last earnings. But if it closes over the 9, this might be a good setup as well. And Monster also consolidating nicely here. And we've got the gap fill here at 63.39. So there are some decent setups here. Earnings is complicating things a little bit, but May take a position or two today, depending on how the market resumes for the rest of the day.